Today we're in Rancho Santa Fe. We're gonna show you around and let you know what it's all about to live in a specific area of Rancho Santa Fe called the Covenant. We've done our other vlog where we cover all of Rancho Santa Fe. Today we're sticking to this specific area, which is a master planned, the original planned community right here in Rancho Santa Fe. So we're gonna let you know what it's all about, what the houses are like, where it is, what the amenities are here, how much it costs, and all that kind of stuff. So let's jump into it right now.
So right now we are in the heart of Rancho Santa Fe. This is downtown Rancho Santa Fe, and it's really small, so there's not a ton of amenities in Rancho Santa Fe, but that's part of the allure also. It's a very quiet community, very spread out. But down here you've got pretty much everything you need. We're walking towards a salon right now. There's the coffee shops. There's a bunch of restaurants. Nick and G's is right behind us. The Inn is a really popular spot too to grab a bite.
Yeah, and that's like the only hotel in all of Rancho Santa Fe, so that's another thing with the amenities and stuff. You're not going to find it, like, it's not a tourist destination.
No, absolutely not. And that's a lot of the reason people like living here. If you're looking for a spot that's got some amenities but doesn't have a lot of traffic and stuff, this is definitely a good spot. And Chris is going to show you the map right now.
So here's Rancho Santa Fe, just north of San Diego. This is downtown where you're going to fly into. You cruise up the 5 freeway and then you cut in from there. There's no direct, no freeways, no main roads. A lot of it is, that's kind of the appeal of back here in Rancho Santa Fe. It's kind of private, it's quiet. And the area we're covering today is not this entire area. We're covering kind of this central area, which I'll show you in a separate map called the Covenant, but there's a few other areas too right outside that are considered Rancho Santa Fe. You got the bridges. Right over here you have the Crosby. You have Cielo right over this way as well. There's a few other spots that are considered Rancho Santa Fe that are not showing up in this outline here. But we are covering the Covenant, which kind of is this general area, and I'll show you here shortly. But as you cruise in, this is where we started, right on the main drag right here in downtown Rancho Santa Fe. This is the small area. You can see it's not a huge footprint. This is kind of all the infrastructure you're going to find in this entire area. So you're not going to find any big grocery stores. There's a little pharmacy. There is a few restaurants. You got Time in the Ranch. You do have Nick and G's. You do have the coffee shop we went to, which is right here. But for the most part, yeah, that's once again, that's kind of the allure of it. You just don't have a ton of infrastructure out here. Now, when we're talking about trails and stuff, because there's a lot of trails back here, a lot of it is going to be around the Rancho Santa Fe Golf Club. You can see all these little dotted lines, our trails cutting through. So they all feed into here. There's a big looping trail all the way around the course here too. So, and then it kind of branches off into different areas. They are wide trails. They're nice. They're like equestrian trails. So they are private to the Covenant members of Rancho Santa Fe. And then right in the middle here is the golf club. So private golf club, you can join as well, but you do have to be a member within the Covenant. And here's a little bit of a closer outline where you can see, it cut off that whole bottom part here, but here is a general outline. Make sure to double check because there's a little bit of nuance in certain little areas where it seems like it'd be Covenant, but it's not. But for the most part, you're going to be good. If you're specifically looking for the Covenant in Rancho Santa Fe, you can see this outline right here. And all these little dots are just different houses that are for sale right now in the ranch. And you can see price points vary quite a bit. And this map here just gives you a little bit more in detail of where the ranch is, where the Covenant is rather. And you can see kind of the outlines here, a few different neighborhoods up to the north here. You can see it kind of goes down to the south towards Morgan Run down this way. So you do have a good area, but like I said, there's a few little offshoots and stuff that are not the ranch or not the Covenant rather. So just make sure to double check. All right, now let's hop back into the video and show you what the Covenant is all about.
So we just grabbed a coffee from the little cafe here in the heart of Rancho Santa Fe. Drinking an iced coffee, black.
Yeah,
that's always how we go.
I got decaf. I quit drinking caffeine a little bit ago, so I'm a decaf guy now.
And kind of to give you an idea of housing costs, it is definitely an expensive place to live. Houses start around that $3.5 million mark, go all the way up to, what was it, 90?
There's one, 98. I think it's 98.5 million. I think the last Rancho Santa Fe vlog actually was still on. It's been on for over a year now. Obviously, it's a very unique property. The next one down's right around like 23 million. So I'd say the more reasonable spread is like 3 to 23 million.
Yeah. Well, even like that $6 million mark, you're going to get a lot here. You're looking at like 3,000 square foot plus houses. There are still kind of a lot of ranch style homes here, but they're going to be kind of in that 3,000, 4,000 square foot range, and then all the way up to like 15,000 square foot houses. So really, it's got anything and everything you need from a housing standpoint. Not a ton of condos. There are some like condos down in this downtown area, but for the most part, it's detached houses on a lot of land with a ton of amenities on your property.
And out here, you're gonna get about 2 acres of land. So you got that space, you got that privacy. And on those lots, you have pools, you have just big areas. You have a lot of people just maybe landscape a little bit, you know, around the house and whatever, and just kind of leave the rest, not wild, but just kind of natural, I guess, if you will.
Out here too, like on some of that extra land Chris is talking about, people put in like vineyards. Some people do like groves of lemons or avocados or something like that too. So it's a good, you know, if you have a green thumb and you want a big garden, this is a great spot.
And out here, the type of housing, it's custom. So you're gonna get that custom feel on most every property. A lot of people come into on those old single-story ranch homes, and if they buy them at, you know, with kind of like that fixer-up status, you'll see it just completely gutted, completely renovated, and just like dialed in and brand new. So you will still see some of those. Those are kind of like the cheaper, more affordable price homes out here, if you will, kind of in that $3 million range, where you might have to put some work in and kind of make your own, which some people dig, you know, kind of customize it to yourself. And we did mention there is a HOA out here. So the covenant, the specific area of Rancho Santa Fe that we're in right now, is the covenant. There's about 1,700 homes, but within that HOA, you do have access to, you have to live within the covenant, you do have access to the golf club over here, the tennis club. Living in the HOA, you do get a membership to the social club out there, but if you want to go further than that, you can do that. We're gonna show you all that a little bit, but some of the other amenities too, we'll get into a little bit later. But also, if you're living out here, there's 24-hour private security that kind of patrols the whole covenant, which is included in the HOA as well.
Chris mentioned remodeling, gutting a house. There is an art board here, kind of like that design committee.
The art jury,
yeah, that handles any remodels, any new construction out here. So you have to get approval for kind of what the finishes look like, what kind of roof tiles you're gonna use, because they have kind of a cohesive look that they try to keep to. So during your process of remodeling, you're gonna have to get city permits, obviously, but you're also gonna have to get that design art board, art jury approval as well.
And the covenant's not a gated community. A lot of the homes will have gates at their driveways, but if you do want some of those gated communities, we're gonna get into a few other options right around Rancho Santa Fe. At the end, we'll give you a little list of a few that might work as well if it's not specifically within the covenant. And if you guys are thinking about living in Rancho Santa Fe, or maybe some other areas right here in San Diego, feel free to reach out. We got your back. We're real estate agents right here in San Diego, so we got your back when making the move here to San Diego, whether it be Rancho, Del Mar, La Jolla, Solana, anywhere else around here. Everything's popping up right now. Hit us up. Now, if you're living in the covenant, you do have access to a few very cool amenities, just like, I'm gonna turn this around here. I'll show some drone footage too, but there's a few, there's a ball field here. Stand in front of a big soccer field. There's a few other ball fields, another field, soccer field over that way, a little playground. Anyways, these are all private if you are part of the covenant. You do get access to these. We did mention the golf club over there as well. So you do have the golf club, a tennis club. There's also a few like private open space preserves. So there's one that you could actually go to if you're part of the covenant and go. There's some hiking trails around there. There's, if you get a permit, you can do some overnight camping. So it's pretty neat. There's Osuna Ranch, which has some walking trails in there, a nice historic building to check out too.
There are a ton of trails out here, but it's definitely for locals because there's not like trailhead parking areas. So you literally have to walk out your front door and get on some of these trails. And a lot of them have signs too that it is just for Rancho Santa Fe covenant owners as well.
And there's trails in a lot of places. We just actually ran up on a trail right now, but they're pretty wide because a lot of these trails are designed so two horses can pass each other. So it's wide. It's wide enough. It's equestrian out here. So there's right next to these ball fields, there's like a little equestrian center. Some of these properties have actually like nice big barns and nice big areas for the horses to run on there. I just saw some horses crossing the street not too long ago. So it is equestrian out here as well. And these trails are designed for that. There's another one over by the golf course. So if you want to cruise around, walk from your house, cruise around the golf course. It's a nice trek, beautiful around there. Stop by the club for a snack, for a lunch, or whatever that might be, maybe a little cocktail, and yeah, enjoy all the kind of outdoor space you do have out here at Rancho.
So if you have kiddos, school district is definitely something you want to look into. Rancho Santa Fe School District is for elementary school. Then you've got San Diego for middle and high school. And they are really highly rated schools here in Rancho Santa Fe. And the elementary school is right in the heart of Rancho Santa Fe, right in that downtown area. Like Chris mentioned, we are right at the sports fields here in Rancho Santa Fe. You've got soccer a little bit further south than here. But we're right at the baseball fields where you've got Rancho Santa Fe Little League. Little League is a brand that a lot of people want to get up to be a part of, to be able to get to that Little League World Series. But there's also a club team here too. The Saints play here in Rancho Santa Fe as well.
And we have an excellent private coach. If your kids move out here, if you guys move out here and your kids need some private coaching, hit us up. We got somebody for you. All right, now we're at one of the trails right around the golf course. So you have that, you got the golf, which we mentioned as well, but there's also community events out here. So during 4th of July, there's a parade. You got a Halloween parade. Every Saturday, there's a coffee and car show in that kind of downtown area of Rancho Santa Fe.
And that's available for everybody to come out to too. That's not just Covenant folks. We have a lot of family friends that come out and check out all the cool cars on Saturdays.
And also at the country club, they do have some golf tournaments throughout the year. But if you want to get elsewhere, that's kind of everything we've covered is within the Covenant here at Rancho Santa Fe. But it's also not too far from everything. So while we're not in a coastal city right here, it is not too far. If you shoot down Loma Santa Fe, you're going to end up in Solana Beach. It's probably the closest beach that you're going to get to. Fletcher Cove is right at the end there. So you're probably like, well, depending on where you are in the Covenant, let's call it about 15 minutes or so going down there. There's no main roads. One other thing, there's no main roads right here in Rancho Santa Fe. They're all side roads. So we cut through because that's a lot of ways we go. It's just, we don't like going through the freeways and stuff. So, but it's not like crazy busy. So you're not gonna find stoplights here. The stop signs, yes, but nothing like no street lights, none of that. So it is nice and, like we mentioned before, private. But back to kind of what's nearby. So you got Solana Beach, which I mentioned, the Cedros Design District, where you have, it's a little more lively than the downtown here. So you have a music venue, you have a few more coffee shops, beer spots, a bunch of like boutiques, places and furniture stores and whatnot, which we mentioned in our past videos as well. Solana Beach, if you want to go check those out.
And then we've also got Del Mar, which has a ton of restaurants, a ton of shops. You've got the racetrack down there if you're into horse racing. It's really close, and a lot of the restaurants there are going to be similar style to Rancho Santa Fe. A lot of high-end restaurants. Definitely a really cool spot to check out that's really close to Rancho.
And then if you want to go even further south, La Jolla is not too far. It's just a quick shot down the 5 freeway. So you're not too far in North County, San Diego, where you're like in that northern part, which is like probably like 45 to an hour. Getting down there, you're about half that time. So you could hop on the 5 and be there within a few exits. It's honestly not too far down to the south there.
So if you're looking in the Covenant in Rancho Santa Fe, there's also a couple other spots to keep in mind. You've got Santa Luz, which has a golf course in the middle. Really cool community, definitely worth checking out. You've got the Crosby, same thing, big golf course. You've got Cielo, which is a little bit further out there, but a really neat gated community kind of up in the hills, huge views, really pretty spot. And then if you're looking for a little bit more of that coastal Rancho Santa Fe feel, you've got Fairbanks Ranch, which is just to the south of us here, and then you've also got Rancho Del Mar, which is a little bit further west. So there are a bunch of other communities that aren't in the Covenant specifically that are worth looking at if some of the amenities the Covenant has aren't things that you're looking for.
And if you guys want to learn a little bit more about Rancho Santa Fe, kind of what it's all about, and just a little bit more in depth, check out that next video that's popping up and learn all you can before moving to Rancho Santa Fe.